Sup, everybody? How we doing? Okay, Heather's got the giggles. Giggles.
Okay.
No, I can't even speak. She's got the giggles going on. It is absolutely crazy right now. We've been trying to start this video for the past 30 minutes, and she's had this moose giggle. It has been quite amusing. All right, today we are doing the 555 review of the Carnival Horizon. So I would ask Heather what the 555 means, but I don't think I'm going to get a word out of her. So what we're doing is a 555 review. 5 things we thought that was on par. 5 things that we thought was could be better, below par. It was good, but it was still below what we expected. And then 5 things of what we thought was really above par. They kind of just went out of their way to make things awesome. So we absolutely love the Horizon. Definitely, probably my second favorite ship. I really enjoyed that ship and all the activities on board. If Heather could speak, I'm pretty sure she would say that the Horizon was her second favorite ship as well. Can you just shake your head yes or no? All right, perfect.
I'm breathing.
So what we're going to do, I think the best way to do it is, I think we're going to go with the on par stuff first, and then we're going to go with the below par, and then we'll go with things that we really love, the above par.
Ended on a good note.
Yes, ended on a good note. So let's start with the on par stuff. Got the giggles going. Number 5. Y'all would have been like really loving this video if I would have started it and just had the giggles going. Like it's all
Sorry.
right. Number 5, the cleanliness of all public places. I seen them cleaning this ship and sanitizing this ship throughout the whole 8 days that we were on board, and I really did appreciate them doing that. It definitely could tell, and definitely on par with that. I didn't see anything, even the public like bathroom areas. I didn't see anything out of order. When I say that, what I mean is like out of whack. Trash thrown everywhere. I just think they did an awesome job of keeping it together. You agree? Yes. All right. The number 4 of things that we thought were on par on the Carnival Horizon, the onboard activities. So I really thought that, Carnival usually brings their pretty good A game as far as the onboard activities. Carnival's known for the onboard activities, and especially on a bigger ship. It's not the biggest ship by any means, but it's a pretty big ship. The Carnival Horizon, I thought, did very well.
Sail away party was really
Sail
good.
away party was great.
all the parties they had there.
The 80s party.
I didn't like, and this is what put it like on par, because when it came to like the Halloween party,
Yeah,
I didn't like how it was done.
It was kind of overlooked. I was thinking a little bit more out of the Halloween parties, but it just wasn't as extravagant as I thought it would be on the Halloween part of it. So
It was done in like a small area.
Yeah, I think that
And
could have
then
been done outside or a bigger venue.
And then like the contestants had to wait in line like in the atrium
We didn't see anything that was going on
for the costume
because
contest.
we were part of the costume contest, and we were one of the last people, and it just wasn't what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
I really expected a lot more. They did have Trick or Treat on board. Again, I thought it was going to be a little bit better. I just don't think it was really well organized as far as that goes. But again, these are our opinions and just what we observed while we were on board. Anything else to add to that? Okay. All right, so I usually do the food things together, but there's going to be a couple of things that were separated because, well, you'll find out. So, Guy's Burger Joint, what can you say? On par. Definitely what you expected.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Good as always. And, yeah, I mean, I think it speaks for itself. Everybody that's been on Carnival knows about Guy's Burger Joint.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll just move on from there. Number 2, the interior design of the ship. So, I thought the Carnival Horizon was laid out very well.
Mm-hmm.
The fixtures were pretty.
It wasn't like I don't know. Like I think that it also lacked because like it was really pretty, but like I missed a whole lot of like that fine details that some of the older ships and some of the newer ships have too, where it's like these things were like very intricate or whatever, but like this didn't seem to have a whole lot of that. And being Halloween, like it was just another cruise ship in a sense. Like they had like the big pumpkin guy in the atrium, and they had like
pumpkin displays around the atrium handle rails.
Yeah, but that was like it.
It definitely, I thought it would have been more decorated, but even with, I know this is a different ship, but even with when we went on the Paradise, it was decorated for Christmas, but it was generally right there in the atrium.
Yes and no. Yes, but they did have things throughout, like the big gingerbread village.
Yeah, that's true.
That was on a completely different level. They had little things throughout, so it was like if you left that area,
there was other spots.
You would run into something else that was very Christmassy, but it didn't have a whole lot like I was expecting. But like this, it was like you left the atrium and
that was it.
That was it.
You
like,
didn't even know it was Halloween.
Exactly. So like the interior design, like it was a pretty ship, but
the decorations were not so.
Yeah, and I missed some of the intricate stuff, I guess.
Right. But as far as the ship as a whole, the interior design, it's on par.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this one is one of my things. Like, I really like our room steward to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking him to come to my room 5 times a day, but I do ask for ice because a lot of times we'll bring sodas aboard and
we want ice with it.
So the one thing that I really asked for, well, 2 things I really asked for, was ice throughout the day. So like at least the morning time and then the evening time. And then the other thing I asked for was towel animals.
Mm-hmm.
So he was mediocre on the towel animals. We didn't get one every day.
No.
But we did get them. And he was good at them. And the ice we got every day, but once a day.
Yeah, so like at night or in the evening.
We'd be out of ice. I think we got them in the hallway one time. It was like, hey, can you give us... And they're willing to do whatever you ask. It's not about that, but...
And we did make it known ahead of time.
Yeah.
We did a pre-tip so he knew, like, here, we are doing this. And we opt to not add the gratuities because we like to give a little bit more to the specific people that like we deal with. So, like, we tend to give a little bit more. So, like, our cooks, the restaurant staff, things like that. The stewardess, if we go to the bar, we do the bar. But see, like, we don't really do like the salon and things like that. So like, but we do like to tip a little bit more because we don't think like what they get is like enough, at least for us, because we have kids, because, you know.
And the other thing is, we don't do the main dining room.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel the money should go other places.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It was a little kind
of... I know that's a touchy subject for a lot of people, and I don't really want to get into it, but that's just what we do.
Yeah. So, it was just a little, like he wasn't bad. Like, I don't want to say he was bad. He was definitely not below.
He was definitely on
But he
par.
was just kind of, like, mediocre.
Yeah, he did his job, and
he did it okay.
Yeah, he did it good.
Just didn't feel like he went above to where, like, what we had really asked. So.
And, you know, we don't ask for much. We're not looking to get our room cleaned 2 or 3 times a day. All I want is ice.
Yeah, it's like me and Liam. Yeah, so those are 5 on par.
That's the 5 on par, so that's the room steward. All right, so I think the next one we're going to do is the below par. That way we, like I said, can end on a high note. So this one is pretty big for me, and I know you. Number 5 on the below par is the buffet variety.
Yes. So, if you guys have been with us for a while, so you know that I've had celiac forever. Or what we believed was celiac forever. But it ended up being a bad gallbladder for many, many years. So this was like the first cruise I was able to go and eat whatever I wanted. So the buffet, and I did ask about certain things, like some of the gluten-free options, and there seemed to be some, but it seemed like everybody really directed me towards like main dining. So I really didn't do any of that. So the buffet variety really, really, really sucked. It was very disappointing. It was
pretty much the same thing every
day. Every day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Everything was the same. The only difference, the only difference was, but they had all these options, like all these like extra like venues that, for availability to put something, but they didn't even open them. Like, it was literally just this one spot that they had food, and it was the same food, and it was the same. It was just really not a very good.
And they had multiple areas. I think they had 2 or 3 different areas they could have had open.
That's what I was saying. Like,
but they only had one open for whenever they were doing the breakfast.
They had the only thing they had different was, okay, so you can go get pizza throughout the lunch, but it was okay. But at night you can go get pizza, and it was actually good, but it was back at the back pool, and you had to wait in a line that usually took about an hour to a couple hours. But it was better. Like, that pizza was better than the lunchtime one. So there were times where we just was like, why don't we wait like another half hour? We'll just go get pizza and we'll stand in line. So it was kind of like that.
So I want to add on to the buffet variety. I was very disappointed with Carnival's decision to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Bacon every other day. I'm sorry. I'm a bacon guy. When I go to breakfast, I want some damn bacon.
And it wasn't even fully cooked.
And, well, there was one day that was fully cooked, correct?
One day.
One day out of 8 that it was fully cooked. Well, no, let me say out of 4. That it was fully cooked. Other times, it was raw.
It was like...
It was kind of unedible, really.
That was awesome.
But very disappointed in Carnival's decision, and I really hope they overturn this really soon, especially as we're coming up on a couple of Carnival trips. The bacon every other day, absolutely.
That was actually number 3 on our list.
That was actually number 3, but I'm jumping up to that because that's absolutely junk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't understand.
And
you couldn't even get a bacon, what is it, BLT. You couldn't even get a bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich on a no bacon day.
Yeah.
It was
just not happening. And then
just getting lettuce and tomato.
And then there wasn't sausage every day, or even on the off days, they would have some sausage, but then they would have some Canadian ham. But then it was
and the sausage was mediocre.
Yeah. It was not.
It wasn't a good fill-in for the bacon. It
just eggs, bad. Oh, the eggs were mush and liquid.
Watered down. Definitely watered down.
Breakfast was the worst meal to eat. I ate a lot of cereal for breakfast.
Mm-hmm. And I did a lot of the omelets.
Mm-hmm. Because that's fresh.
But see, that line was always so long because
everything else
sucked. So Carnival needs to definitely fix that.
Yeah. So jumping back down one to number 4 was the air conditioning at the Lido buffet.
Absolutely garbage.
Ugh, it was so hot in there.
Every time.
I'm saying it was hot. Okay, it was so stuffy and hot, and
every time you went in it.
There were so many times where we just got our food and went outside because it was better outside.
You got more airflow outside.
It was just it was, and then you have to pass through sometimes, and it was just unbearable. It was really bad. Number 2, it was the guest services. We went there. We spent more time at guest services on this ship
than any
other ship we've ever been on. They online before we left, we did check. You were allowed to bring on a case of soda per person. It did not specify how you had to bring it on. It just says that you can bring it on. And as you guys, if you follow us, you should know, with Casey, he has autism, and on cruise days, it tends to be
a disaster.
Yes, in everything.
Especially if something doesn't go to plan.
If it's not exactly how we do it every time, it throws him, and it therefore throws us, and it's bad. It gets bad pretty quick. He does turn around pretty quick, and cruising does work. It's just that first day that's really hard. Yeah. And so getting him onto the ship, we already didn't know that we were going to have priority boarding, which we always do, but this time they just couldn't guarantee it. We ended up getting it, but it was a mess getting there. It was bad.
Started with our parking situation.
It was so bad. So anyways, we get on. Okay, we packed our sodas. Because it's all hands on deck when we try and get him on the ship. Plus, Galen has social anxiety. So, and it gets pretty severe sometimes. So, it's really a tag team on the kids when we get them onto the ship, because either one of them can break down either in a panic attack or an autism episode or an ADHD episode. It gets pretty bad sometimes.
Right.
So, we do a lot of tag teaming. And that means we have to be free to do what we need to do. So when we get on, we check our bags. The only ones that we bring on are electronic bags, because I really don't want anything happening to those. But they're book bags. We made sure they're book bags, so we have our hands available. There are times where we have had to physically restrain him because he just needs that pressure. It's deep pressure therapy, and sometimes he needs it to bring him down from what he has. I don't have arms to carry extra sodas, and I don't think we should be punished and having to buy the soda package that we didn't really want.
Especially because it's Pepsi.
Yeah. So
I can only do so much Pepsi, and you don't even like Pepsi. No. I can do only so much.
Yeah. So it was just we did pack our sodas in our luggages. I made sure it all fit. I did check the regulations prior. Some of it went through, but 2 cases did not.
So they pulled the ones from my bag, but they left the ones from hers.
Yeah. So again, we went down to guest services. They said they would try, and I was
first of all, they were like, well, "Sorry, it's gone."
Yeah, they were like, "You should have carried it on. It's in our policy." And I was like, "No, it was not."
They were very, very not helpful.
Yeah. So
which I've never had with guest services before. Even when we had the problem with you eating on the Paradise, we didn't have that much of a problem.
Correct. But they were very much just like, well, sorry, can't really help you.
And then when you started asking for somebody higher, that's when stuff started to change.
And I even told her, she's like, well, it specifically says, like, right here, like, you have to carry it on. And we were not the only people in line who packed our things. So
the whole line was full of people that.
Correct. So I did point out, I was like, no, online, it does not specify how you can bring it in. It just says that you can bring it on per your website, not any type of like vlogs or anything like that. Per your website, it just says you can. Doesn't specify how. I said, and she goes, well, I'm sorry, there's nothing really we can do. And I was like, well, then you need to compensate with a drink package or whatever it may be. I said, because I'm not going to get punished because I have an autistic child. I have to make sure I can handle. Like, if that is something, then that's something we need to consider coming onto the ship wise. And they did not have his sensory bag, which I verified numerous times
before we got on board
to have one reserved before we even boarded, before the week of, before the month of, and we're talking like multiple times. He always gets a sensory bag because that's just one less thing I have to pack, and it includes like earbuds or like headphones and fidgets and it's like a whole thing. So it's not like I can just be like, oh, just pack his headphones. It's a whole thing. Mm-hmm. So, they didn't have that. They called down to the child, clubs or whatever, and none of them had it. So there's multiple guest services issues that we had. We ended up getting it from his teacher. So he did have one, but that alone was a very big problem.
We did end up getting our sodas, by the way.
Yes. So it did get handled, but only because it got escalated.
Yeah, because we were escalating it, and all of a sudden they want to be responsive.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to escalate the issue. Be nice, be courteous.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and courteous will always get you further.
Yeah, but stand your ground.
And
we definitely had to. And it shouldn't have been like that.
No.
So definitely below par. Probably one of the worst guest service experiences ever.
I think it was the worst guest service experience.
So jumping up to number 1 below par is our debarkation process.
So I'm going to compare it to Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean has it right. So Royal Caribbean, if you're carrying your luggage off the ship, you're one of the first people off the ship.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what time. Mm-hmm. You're one of the first people off the ship. Along with, your diamond and platinum
mm-hmm.
people. Mm-hmm. Carnival's not like that. They have the diamond and platinum go first, and then they go by sections of the ship,
mm-hmm.
even if you're carrying your luggage off the ship.
Which, again, having an autistic child is making it a little extra hard because he knows how we're supposed to get off. And so he knows, like, we get up early, we go to breakfast, we get our luggages, we go down to the room, and we leave.
Yep.
We don't have to deal with the crowds, we don't have to deal with all the people, we don't have to deal with all of the stuff.
Right.
So this was a very confusing, messed up process.
We did end up getting off the ship early, but
again, we have to escalate certain things.
Right. Just the way it has to be. But a horrible disembarkation process, definitely not to the standards of, their biggest competition, Royal Caribbean. Even
other Carnival ships, like they've not done a section by section debarkation. Like,
it's not that we've seen.
Not that we have seen. We've always been able, if you carried it off, you were able to go. This one was,
and that's the way it should be, because I'm not waiting for my luggage, in the terminal.
Mm-hmm.
So I shouldn't have to wait on the ship. I got my luggage. Let me go through customs.
And be done. Let's get out.
Get out of the way of everybody else that's getting their luggage.
We usually can be home before most people are even off the ship.
Yeah. So. And we live
generally 2 hours.
2.5 hours away from Miami.
Yeah.
All right. So now we will go to the above par, which we absolutely loved on the ship, and definitely the people and the things on here were definitely above par.
Mm-hmm.
I say people because we're going to talk about Cookie at number 5.
He was funny. He was very lively. He was
very
absolutely amazing. He came around and he was socializing with everybody.
And he knew we were, he knew that it was our group cruise, and he was all about everybody that was in our group cruise, along with, other people that were just walking around the ship. I mean, Cookie was awesome. His entertainment was awesome.
He's just a funny character.
Funny guy. Definitely enjoyed meeting him and talking to him. If you haven't sailed with Cookie, you are in for a treat if you ever get to, let me tell you.
And you should.
And
It doesn't matter what ship he's on. I'm sure he would rock every single one of them. He was just, he was good. He was funny. Definitely.
Cookie definitely above par for Carnival cruise directors.
Correct. Okay, so number 4.
The Polaris in the
Atrium.
Yes.
So Polaris is a musical group. They are strings. So
I never thought this would be on here above par. Just saying.
So they're an orchestra.
Yes.
I ended up getting their CD and having them sign my.
They were the entertainment
CDs
in the Atrium
for most of the go around, and they were phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. They drew you in, and they kept you captivated.
They were a cover group, and they did awesome. And of course, there's no words; it's just all strings. So they were awesome on covering these songs that they were doing.
So they had obviously they had your classical, whatever, and then they did pop, and then they did country, and old country, and then they had everything you can request, and if they had it, then they would do it.
Yeah. Very nice people.
We literally, me and Darian, and sat there for hours.
Yep, Darian from Magnificent
Germany.
Journey with Darian.
Magnificent Journey. Magnificent German. No.
I said it.
I know, but I always mix it up.
Magnificent Germany with Darian.
Yes, that one.
Good guy. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out.
It comes off my tongue the way it is. Very good guy. Check him out. But him and I, we sat there for hours just watching them. They were just.
I did.
Yeah, it was just.
And that's not my thing. Orchestra is not my thing.
We even bought the CD, and he listens to it in the car with me.
I listen to it all the time in the car.
So
great entertainment.
I think you can find them on Facebook too.
Yep. If you ever see them aboard one of the Carnival ships, you are in for a treat, let me tell you.
Sit down and just listen. I mean, they had everybody listening.
I think that was the busiest atrium I've ever seen.
It was definitely the best entertainment.
And it wasn't because of the bar.
Yeah. It was the best entertainment in the atrium I've seen on any ship. Yep. And that includes Royal.
And that's still to this day.
Yes. So, good point on them. Very A+. Okay. The third thing on our list is the Mongolian Woke.
Now, this was available during Sea Days for lunch. And this was amazing.
It was so good. It was good.
It was a Chinese restaurant, basically. And, again, included. And it was just really good. I really enjoyed the Chinese food on board with the Mongolian Woke. It was just, and it made our above par listing.
We had lunch with Jane and Travels, and who else did we have? And Cheryl. Didn't we have someone else? It was you and me, John, Nancy, and Cheryl.
That's everything.
Yeah, that was it. But we all had lunch there.
Yes.
And it was good.
On our last sea day.
Mm-hmm. It was so good.
They're lucky I only found it on the last day.
Definitely would have gone there because the buffet was not very good.
The buffet wasn't very good, and I was not thrilled with the barbecue place.
Oh yeah, that barbecue place is not very good either.
No.
Pick an anchor.
Pick an anchor, thank you.
But the Mongolian place, if you get a chance to do it, go for it. It is good. And he's a picky eater.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Number 2 on the above par. By far, our favorite room we've ever had, the Cove balcony. It is so magnificent.
I'm going to request the Cove balcony if there is one available
on
every time.
ship that we ever go on. As a
It
matter
was
of fact,
just-
on our next group cruise, we have the next
December.
Yeah.
We have the Cove balcony.
We have the Cove balcony. Thank you. You got distracted.
I was looking for Phoenix.
No.
I hear one of the dogs.
But yeah,
so
on our next group cruise, we have the Cove balcony. If you want to join us for that, you missed out on this one. If you want to join us for that, it will be December 10th through the 17th of 2023. Make sure you hit up Cindy Spiker from Spiker's Crazy Adventures. It is the Cruise and Chill Group Cruise 2023, hosted by Us and More, Spiker's Crazy Adventures. We'll be going on the Carnival celebration.
I'm excited.
I am so excited about that. All the information is in the description below.
Okay, so our top number 1 above par.
Before you do that, before you do our top number 1 above par, if you haven't done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to get all of our latest and greatest uploads and live shows. And join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at UsandMoreYT. You can also join us on our Facebook group page, the Us and More Extended Family, facebook.com/groups/UsandMoreYT. Now, our above par that we really enjoyed on this ship. It is the best sleep I've ever had on a cruise ship.
Best bed.
I'm very, very, very happy with the bed on the Carnival Horizon.
So it's funny because
we are very picky about
Royal
beds. We're
beds.
spoiled.
Royal beds are
Not so good.
but Carnivals have been okay.
Yeah.
But this bed,
We actually slept really good. Even she slept.
I even slept. Okay, and if you know me, I don't sleep more than about an hour and a half to 2 hours, if I'm very lucky, a night. I slept amazingly. Okay. But it's funny because when we were in the parking garage getting on, trying to get to the port, there were some people who brought foam bed toppers rolled up. And I was like, oh, which ship are you going on? And they're like, Royal.
It's like, yeah, you'll make them.
Totally get it. But this ship's bed was so amazing. It was like, it was the best bed I've ever slept on.
Yeah.
Well, okay, hold on. On a ship. Okay, so my bed's totally different. But on a ship, best bed ever.
Yeah.
Get those beds on every other ship were good. Okay. Well, but that was our top. That was it. It's our 555.
That's our 555 things we loved.
Hated.
Well, not hated.
Okay,
just
so
below par.
Our above, on par, and below par lists.
Yes. So, anyway, thanks for watching. We've got more exciting adventures coming up. Our next one that we'll be posting is our Tampa meetup with the Spiker's Crazy Adventures. That's the first time we've ever met Cindy and Doug.
Sorry, I distracted you.
Yeah, again, distracting. But
it was funny because
we also had a couple other people meet up with us.
but it was funny because I talked to Cindy and Doug all the time.
Yeah.
So it was literally just like,
oh, well, now we're just...
formality.
Yeah, now we're actually touching hands and stuff. But yeah, so
you got to catch and watch that one. It was awesome.
And then we got, after that, Serenade of the Seas, where we took the doggies on board. Our service dogs went aboard with us, so don't forget to check us out soon for that one. So we have a lot of content coming up.
A lot of content.
And also Paris.
Ooh,
Can't forget about Paris. All right, so that's pretty much it.
All right, guys. This is Us and More. We are
Living life to fullest. Bye, guys.